Hello everybody, it's SuffolkBlue, all the way from merry old England. How the devil are you? I hope you are well. Welcome back to Direwolf20, welcome back to our V for Variety server. And today is a building day, as I promised. We've got lots to do today, excuse me, so let's start off straight away just by showing you what we've already done. As you know, whenever I build, I like to put a foundation in. Because of the colour of the stone that I'm using today, I'm going to be using living rock and probably maybe some sandstone and some gold. So because of that yellowness, I'm using cobble as my foundation. That just gives me a good idea at what level I'm at and gives me a solid base to build upon. I've moved away some of the dirt around the edges now and got rid of the endpoint column, although I've left the mark. Very important, if you found the middle, just make sure that you know where your middle is, because your middle is your most important bit, okay? So we know where the middle is, that's fine. Let's get straight on and build. I brought some building materials already out here, and today we're going to be using some living rock. We're going to be using some mossy living rock and potentially some brick. We don't want to have too much brick, but we'll need to make a good start. Let's start from the middle and work our way out either side so we know what we're doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The way I'm going to build this, I have played around in my creative world. Oops, that's me. Turn my phone off so you can't hear that. I have played around my creative world, but this is still going to be a unique build because I never build the same thing twice, it seems. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's get rid of this and this. 8, 9, there we go. So we're going to be doing a section of this wall, and the reason we do it in a section is that it enables me to be able to get it right in a section and then just literally copy and paste it, if you like. Not copy and paste it using code, but build it around following exactly the dimensions of the first one we build. It's just a really handy, easy way of doing a large scale build. It's a way that I've always found really useful. So there we go, another 9x9 block, or another 9 long block from the center here. Excellent. Are we going to need any more mossy? I don't think we are for today. We are going to need a lot more mossy in the build, but I don't think we're going to need that today. Let's get some ordinary blocks, and I'm just going to come in one as well. And put that on this, on this base as well. This is actually going to be under the floor. You're not going to see it, but as I have so much of living rock, the Britannia factory has really kicked up the amount of rock that I can get. I've got a chunk loader, which meant that every time even I'm not online, it's getting living rock for me, and this means that we've got plenty to play with. Right, let's get that out of my box as well. We don't need that. Let's get some more bog standard ordinary living rock. Plenty of it. One we might need you. Dirt, we might need you. There we go. Now, we have to make some decisions, and this is where when you're doing a build like this, the only way that I can suggest you do it is to understand exactly the sort of effect, sort of impact you're going for. When I build something like this, I'm trying to think of the backstory of the building. Why does this building exist? Why is it this shape? Why is it made out of living rock? Why is it here? These things help me to build interesting and big things, I hope. So this is a Thorncraft tower that's been built here over millennia. It's been here for years. It's based on this island, which is going to be a magical island. We have a magical forest surrounding it, which we're growing up. So it's a natural place for magic to come and go. That's what I'm playing around in my head. So we're going to go straight in. Oops, doesn't matter if they come off because we'll clean those up in a second. But you can look, I mean, I just think that rock looks astonishing. It's so much better than just plain marble or plain stone, because it's got that warmth to it, which you don't get with stone. It's very cold. But we do want this quite high, so we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a tall wall, but it's not even finished, that wall. But let's put in the basics now. And whilst I'm doing this, let me talk to you about, again, some of the process that I go through when I build, because, always look at the landscape around you. Always look at where you're building or where your structure is going to sit with the rest of the landscape. How dominant do you want your building to be? What style do you want your building to have in terms of architecture? You can do a mixture. Sometimes I think mixtures look a bit haphazard. It's just me, but that's what I think. So this one I'm going to go for a sort of a Lothlorien, elven Gothic archways. There will be archways in this and pillars. We're using a bit of Greek as well. Because this really is, as I said, it's like an Isengard from Lord of the Rings. If you don't know what any of these things are, go and Google. And how anyone could not know who Lord of the Rings is these days after all the films from Peter Jackson, I shall never know. But this is what we're sort of going for. We want to go for an ancient place in the world, like one of the ancient wonders of the world. This world might have a massive volcano in it that's like a natural wonder. It might have a huge waterfall or a lake or something like that. Well, this is one of the man-made wonders of the world, along with probably Digi's other Thorncraft tower. Actually looks pretty good. Oops. So keeping that in mind, when I build, I try and think about how the people who would have built this, if it were real, would do it, and make sure that it supports itself, that it doesn't have too many floating blocks, that it uses wood where wood would be used rather than stone. What sort of wood would it be used? Would it be oak, or would it be, silver wood or something more magical? So that's our main interior wall, the inner wall of the outer wall, because the outer I love the way that works. Everything on the outside is the outer wall, but this is the inner wall of the outer wall. This is the outer wall of the outer wall. Little tip again, let's build across from here so that we get the right height here. Just so we don't accidentally build up higher than we need to. Across and under. So now we know exactly how big the first part of the outer wall is going to be. Now, I've deliberately picked extreme hills, not only because it was a really lucky find as being an island, but also I want the height of the landscape to help me with the height of this building. If I was going to put this in the desert, or if I was going to put this in the grasslands or the savannah or somewhere very flat, I wouldn't make this structure as big as I'm going to make it. But I'm sort of competing a little bit with the local topography. If you look around me, I'm surrounded by tall, big hills. Therefore, this structure can afford to be tall and big. It doesn't have to be hidden away, unless of course you wanted to hide away whatever base you were building. But this is not the purpose of this tower. This tower is designed to focus magical Thorncraft energies. It's going to be used to focus Aurora. It's going to be used to harness almost like a sanctuary within the world of magic. That's what I'm going for. That's the feel that I want to go for. So to start with, we're just really messing about with those themes and see what happens. That's what we're sort of doing. I don't want to put a roof on this yet, but let's have a look. Beautiful. It's big. Excellent. Exactly as it should be. Very big. Okay, now we're going to come in here, and I'm going to double wall it. And the reason we double wall, or the reason I'm going to double wall, is that this is big enough for me to be able to play around inside the cavity. This isn't going to be a solid wall where all of this is just brick all the way through. We're going to have walkways. I've got in my mind that I want to have some pillars, I want to have some archways, I want to have some floating candles, I want a sort of red carpet affair. I want to make it quite palatial inside. It's got to look like a palace almost inside, but from the outside it's got this magical, mystical quality of, how does it work? How does it look? It's going to have a magical quality to it. And I want to, whilst I'm using entirely Britannia at the moment, this is all Britannia resource. None of this is Thorncraft at the moment. This is all Britannia. I want to be able to bring in some Thorncraft materials at some point, so that it starts to speak about what it does, being a Thorncraft tower. So we will be looking at doing that. We might do that in some weird ways. We may put in some runic stones, which obviously you normally use for the infusion stuff, which we'll be getting into very soon on the series, but we might actually use some of those as building materials, which is a different way of doing it. But there we go, we're just double lining, and as it happens, I mean, again, just to say, we're not going to be keeping this as a flat surface. Think about colours, think about contrasts, and think about texture. Those are the things that I think about when I build. And having flat walls, having really flat one colour toned walls like we've got at the moment, is not really very good. It's not what we want. What we want is a mixture of colours that complement each other and textures. So there's a double wall. I think what I'll do is I'm going to go and sleep, and I shall bring you straight back afterwards, and I'll have finished off that other double wall, and then I'll bring you back. So I shall be right back. And welcome back. So, what we've done, I've kept the same height. All I've done is taken the top level of living rock off and replaced it with brick, just so that it crowns the top of the wall. But that is the height of the main part of the wall. The next thing I'm going to do is using, using a bit more of this brick. We're going to just bring it in by a line, because I want to have almost 2 stories to this tower, or to this wall. So it's going to be, this is a big curtain wall, okay? I mean, I talk about landscape and people are like, making sure that it fits in with the landscape, but again, this is why we're using extreme hills, this is why we're in the mountains. We want to be able to build mountainous type of structures. Let's take that one as well. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, there we go. Excellent. Good. Now, from the inside, now we come towards the inside, because we're going to build almost from the inside up. Because what I want to be able to do, where's the middle for diddle? Let me find the middle. Easiest way, once you've got the middle, as I say, once you've found it, don't lose it. I'm just going to knock straight through, because this tells me that the middle is here. Okay, this here is the middle. Let's take out that one, 2, 3, 4, 5. How high can we go? We're going to go one higher. This is going to be ground. Okay, so we're going to put back our... And straight away, you see, by having this double wall, whatever I do on the inside doesn't affect the outside, and from the outside in, I can also be a bit sneaky as well. Let's take that one out too. Okay. And let's take you out, but replace you instead with one of those. Okay. Let's go and look at... Let's take out, actually... We're going to do a 3, I think. A 3 by 3. So we're gonna take out of this central wall something like this. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remembering that this is floor. Okay, so this is floor height. We're one lower otherwise. Let's go and grab our columns. We have already made some columns here. I need a chisel, really. Let's go and get a chisel. I think we can make a chisel. If you have never made a chisel, let's go and show you how to do that. And chisel is a really good mod. Allow just so much extra opportunity to design things when you have something like chisel. I think I'm going to need some of that. Right, let's have a look at the old making things. Chisel. Now, I'll make sure I build the right one. Oops. Carpenter's blocks, that's a carpenter's chisel. Tinker's construct. I think it's diamond chisel, multiple nodes for chiseling. Ooh. Let's make an ordinary one. Yeah, that's how I remember they used to be made. I just want to make sure I make the right one. Take one of those. Take one of those. We have a chisel. Excellent. Now, I don't know necessarily... We can't chisel everything in the world. So, for example, living rock you can't do anything with. It is as it is. Dirt you can. You can have lots of different types of dirt, you see. So, let's go and do this with our pillars. And then... we can put those in and see what they look like. But what we're trying to do here, as I say, we're mixing some styles that complement each other. On the inside, we're going to have... did I pick up some marble? I did not. Okay. Columns. Here we go. Let's have a go. What can we get here? This is the one I want. We're using an ordinary bog standard marble pillar. going to run that marble, and straight away, because it's marble, I think it really stands itself apart from the living rock which is surrounding it. Yeah, I think it really works well in there. I'm going to take out you and you. Well, I suppose I mean, this isn't going to be seen, I don't think. Let's go and grab ourselves some of these. Let's not do that, because that's just not right at all. Let's try there, there, there. Excellent. Top of a pillar. Okay, so it actually looks like it's going to be supporting some weight of this building. Don't worry about the bottom for now, we'll do that later. Again, let's just grab some ordinary blocks like this, or living stone, it doesn't make any difference. Put 3 along the top. Come out again. 1 there. 1 there. 1, 2, 3. 1 there. 1 there. Got to make a decision here. What do we want our flooring upstairs to look like? Well, I'm going to use these because I think that will match in with everything else. That needs to come out by 1. This comes right across here. Okay, and same process again. And at the same time, whilst we're putting in this sort of column, we're building a floor upstairs, whilst also coming across and building what I would sort of call a fan vault ceiling. It's a bit like a fan vault ceiling. It's not really a fan vault ceiling, but it's pretty close. Okay, so you can imagine from underneath, you're going to get this sort of feeling. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to directly opposite this one. So find your line here. Okay, I'm going to take him out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same again. I'm going to go up to, where did we go up to? Did we go right to the top? I think we did. And then let's take out here. Yes, because that one in there was a block like that. Then we're going to take out these ones again. Symmetry is so important, I think, in Minecraft. I think if you want to make something that makes people go, whoa, you really have to try and get your symmetry right. Because if not, it looks uneven or unbalanced or odd. It won't have the same effect. Right, so there's our column. Okay, yeah, we've got some more. And then from the ground up, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, looks about right. Coming again with a brick. 1 there, 1 there. And we just repeat the process. No micro blocks used yet, which is nice. 1, 2, 3. 1 there. 1 there. 1, 2, 3. Oh, what are you turn around like that for? It's a silly thing to do. Now I've got to take you off. 1, 2, 3. There's no reason for you to spin around like that. Let's try that again. 1. 1, 2, 3. Let's take that off again. Hit the top of the box. Beautiful. Again, we're using bricks on the top here, ready for this, so actually we need some more of those. Let's go and get some. Plenty of these. Actually, have we got any more? Have I made any more steps? I don't think I have. Let's do that as well then, whilst I'm here. Oops. Lovely. Off the ground, please. Thank you. Back over here. And what you do really is you look at this and you go, well, okay, how will it look? Stand back, take a look. Imagine you're going to walk through it. Is it going to be too much? Is it too grand? Is it more than you need? I don't think it's too much. I think it's pretty good, actually, for what I want. Why you turn round? Why you do this? Stop. Stop doing that. Top of the box. And there. Nighttime cometh so quickly in this game. It goes from day to night. So quickly. And you can see that they almost, although they don't quite, they almost meet the middle, but not quite. And that's fine, but you can see the effect underneath. You end up with a sort of, well, an arch. You have a natural arch, which you haven't really had to do anything about. What we can do, come to here. Let's get some slabs, ordinary slabs. These are not micro blocks at this point. Don't need to be. And this means that everything above it is still at the right plane. 3, 4, 4. Oops, let's get another one quickly. Everything above it is on the right level. So we can continue to build above if we need to. But there we go. So you have that way. So we now know how tall it's going to be. Alright. The only thing we have to decide now is, okay, where does the next archways come in? Well, by the look of it, from here it's 1, 2, 3 to the end. So 1, 2, 3. I think the next one comes in here. Let's just put that there for that as a marker. So the pillar, 1, 2, 3 to the end. 1, 2, 3, and the pillar. So let's put a pillar in and see whether we can get these to match up on the inside. Up, 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 all the way up. And there, put in one of those so I know how high I'm going. Let's take out these. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. See if we can work through the night without being too affected by the nasties. Right, take our marble. Let's have a check and see how high we have. See whether we're in the right place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's correct. Lovely. 1, 2. We're going to need to go out a bit. I'm going to bring this out just so that we can get the full effect of this pillar. It doesn't matter. I'm going to build it anyway at some point. You. 1, 2, 3. Where's my mossy? There you are. 1, 2, 3. Lovely. Let's just build up that wall. Either side. And down again. Oops. Okay. And then let's just build out here. Now we are making a bit of a rod of our own back once we get to places like this, because this is all going to be on a tilt. But I'll show you probably in another building episode how I'm going to get past that. Oh, I can't have the rain. Let's go and sleep this off. I'll be right back. Okay, and welcome back. Here we go. So we're back again. The rain's gone. Now, let's take out this pillar and go round, and we'll see what it looks like. One there. One there. Top of the box. And there. And there. Top of the box. Lovely. Now it'll be interesting to see how these interact with each other when they're up close. I hope exactly like that. Look at that, beautiful. Top of the box. Otherwise you end up with the wrong way round. and in the middle there. Superb. So we end up with a natural arch through the middle. We end up with columns which then also have arches in between, which are equal in size, but that's okay. That just means we can potentially put some pictures and stuff in the middle there. But you can see the effect. It really sort of starts to leap out. So I think off camera I'm just going to finish off these three either side. So I'll do that for a second, and I shall bring you right back when they're done. And welcome back. So here we go. We've done the main promenade part, and you can see the sort of effect that you're going to get within there. I think that looks so good. I love the way that these just almost vault themselves into the ceiling. I just think it looks really useful, really good, and allows us to really mess about a little bit with the outside as well, because the outside, if you remember, even through all that, is still flat. So we still have the ability to mess around with the outside and make that look a bit pretty too. But there we go, that's the main promenade deck. Then we come up one, up a level. Now I'm sort of thinking about this, and I'm thinking about how I want this outside to look, and I'm sort of I obviously know spiders must be able to climb this wall. This is important, and I'm sort of thinking maybe we can do a sort of a long line of those along this edge here. Obviously already gone up a level. I wonder, I want to go straight in. I don't see, this is what I mean when I say that I've built thousands, hundreds of these. I've built about 5. I haven't hundreds. I built about 6 of these, to be fair. And already I'm changing what I'm thinking of doing. But I wonder if I come straight in with a wall. Straight in with a wall. I'm running out of these. Keep running out of steps. Let's get some more steps on the go here. Let's get a lot of steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. I wonder, can I do a step? How does that look? I don't think we can make walls with these, can we? No. I could put a carpenter's, either like a carpenter's brocade all along here and make it marble. Or maybe what we do is we go where's should have done this from the middle, really. It's the middle. Yep. Middle. 1, 2, 3. Or should we do it in twos? 1, 2, 1, 2, boom, 1, 2, boom. Although if this is an odd amount, then it won't matter. Lengthwise, we would have to change them. But again, just looking at being able to do some textures, looking at doing something different with the top without necessarily being particularly different. And you can imagine if you were looking at coming towards it. Yeah, I quite like that at the moment. We may change it at some point. We carry on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. How long is this? Okay, that's fine. Let's take off that part. Let's go up another 2. Two in total, I think. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then again, we'll stand back and have a little look. Oops. Straight into the wrong type of stone. Off we come. Have I run out? Oh. Not quite white. Maybe pick up that brick, but there we go. And I sort of want the roof, I sort of want this to be not castle, yeah, well, not castle as in with like battlements and stuff, because again, this is a magic tower. It sort of feels like it shouldn't need to have battlements with soldiers and that sort of thing on top of it, because ultimately it could just, I don't know, fire a massive firebolt and just blow them all apart. Oops, I missed that one out because we went over. So actually we want to be here. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yes, okay. And how tall is that? 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just put in a line and then we can run it over. But what I'm thinking about up here is still a walkway. It's got to be big enough to be able to host and hold stuff, but it would just be nice to have a sort of, I don't know, on the inside I'd quite like to have some balconies that hang off from this, but on the outside it keeps giving me the wrong brick. But on the outside, obviously I don't want balconies because there is something about defence about this building, but on the inside, where the main sort of the secret magical courtyard is in the middle here, it would be nice to be able to have, you know, balconies that look over that and look over the main tower that's going to be right through the middle here. So let's just put this in for now. I think we're getting towards the end of the time for today's episode, but we're certainly doing some building here, aren't we? Certainly doing some building. The other thing to think about is I am going to put some windows in, I think. Haven't really decided wholly where. I would quite like them to be like that, although that is to the floor level. So let's not do them to the floor level. Boom, boom. Let's actually do them. We could probably go one higher with the roof anyway, because what we can do is we'll probably end up, well, probably we will end up running. Is that some there? Yeah. Is we will run a line of stone along the top here. And I think some of this is only going to be in the end straight sections. We may not be able to do this much detail on the sections which branch that way, because obviously they take your symmetry and throw it to the wolves, really. So something like that. I don't want them in every one. This may not work as we move around the tower, so we'll need to check. But you might get a good idea if I take out this one as well. We can ignore that one. So this is on the outer wall. Yeah. So this is on the outer wall where we might have some large windows like that. But what I will use is I'm going to use the glass with the microblocked so that I can fill it in, so it has that arched Gothic look about it. But because this is the external wall, I'm almost inclined to not do that here, but to instead do these big windows over here, and on the external wall is to have maybe above these here, above these bits, these ones, something like that. So you just have above, because again, this is the external wall. This is where, just in case this tower was attacked, you wouldn't want huge windows like that. Oops, oops, I knew I'd do that. But you might just have something like just these two little tiny peekaboo type windows on this side, but the big open space windows on the other side. Yeah. So you still have windows, and you still have to do things with those windows. I hasten to add, you still have to make them pop out a little bit. But within this walkway, because again, you see you're in a walkway. Let's just put these bigger windows in here. Not from the ground, not from the ground. One up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So from here, you turn around, you see brick wall, which is fine. Miss one. I'll have to see what we can do on those slanted edges, because, as I say, it does sort of ruin your symmetry if you're not using straight lines, but we'll do our best with that. Again, let's take out this one as well. Make all of these decisions, you see. You just make it up as you go along. Don't tie yourself into. And I think with building as well, another one of my sort of tips for you is to not try to do too much, because you'll burn yourself out. If I was to make all of this base in one go, I think I'd be sick of building it by the time I'd finished it. But there we go. So this is some ideas. We could still have some double doors in here even that would lead out onto some balconies that may overlook some of this. Windows either side. You know, I think that might be a nice idea. I think we could do something along those lines. Let's put it back for now. But there we go. I think that sort of gives you an idea for today. Let's just go and have a little look. So this is the outer wall. It's going to be imposing. It's going to be all the way around. It's a big area, and you can see the further you go back, you can just see how imposing that's going to be. When I tell you that the inner tower, this inner bit here, is probably going to finish at about this height. The inner tower, yeah? And then the rest of the tower is going to go right up here. It's a whopper. I hope you've enjoyed today. I hope you've enjoyed our little building session. Next time when we come back from Minecraft, we'll be doing some more magic. I want to start looking at some distillation. I want to start using the alembics and all those sort of things down, and building a whole system to enable us to get better aspects and essence and this and stuff, so that we can do some better brewing and some better alchemy, because we're going to need for this, even for our main big and build here, we're going to need a little bit of magic, because otherwise it wouldn't be a very Thormacrafty building, would it? So there we go. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, leave a like, any comments you want to leave, and I'll see you next time.